Hi everyone, Amanda here from Little Lotus Yoga. I wanted to share with you our top 5 tips if you are currently pregnant and expecting to have a baby in the next few weeks or months during this COVID-19 pandemic. We know that we have a lot of questions when it comes to pregnancy, labor, delivery, postpartum, during normal times, pandemic aside. So, of course, it's very common right now to have a lot more questions, to have fear, to be worried about the unknown of what is it going to be like when I go to have my baby. So, we wanted to share with you 5 tips and resources that we feel are going to be helpful for you on this journey. Number one, please don't hesitate to ask questions. It's so important that you are asking questions to your healthcare provider, that you're asking questions at your birthplace of choice, whether that be at home or maybe at a birth center or a hospital, and that you are asking questions to the different community resources that are available, such as public health. Here in Ottawa, we have the Champlain Maternal Newborn Regional Program. There's lots of great resources out there. Please do not fall down the hole of Dr. Google. Connect in with your healthcare provider, connect in with your birthplace of choice, and ask them the questions and get the answers to the questions that you have that are swirling around in your mind, or maybe that of your support person and birth partner. We also know that it can be challenging when you do meet with your healthcare provider to remember everything that you wanted to ask. So, write it down on your phone, bring a notebook with you, and in between appointments, write down the questions that you think about. Also, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and just give them a call if you have a question that you're needing answered. Our healthcare providers and birthplaces of choices are there to help support us at all times, especially now during COVID-19. Tip number 2, make a detailed list of everything you need to bring with you if you are giving birth outside of your home, so at the birth center or at a hospital. So during COVID-19, if you're in the Ottawa area, at this time, you're allowed to have one support person with you while you are in labor and while you give birth. That being said, your support person, once they get there to your birthplace of choice, they're not able to leave and come back. So they may not be able to go to the car, go back home and get something and bring it back to you. So it's really important you're bringing everything with you that you think you might need. That includes nutritious snacks for you and your support person, a phone charger, because after baby comes, of course, we're going to be calling and FaceTiming with all of those close to us who we love so we can share the great news with them. Some other things that we always recommend that you may not think of is you might want some flip-flops. So you're not going to be walking around on the hospital floor barefoot necessarily. If your birth partner or support person wants to get into the tub with you or into the shower, or if you're there for a long time, they might just want to take their socks and shoes off. Flip-flops can be a really great way, to have those in your bag to be able to use. Your toiletries. So think about things like your toothbrush, your toothpaste. It's always nice to have your own shampoos and soaps and those comforts of home as well. So make that list beforehand, pack your bag. This is the time, normally we say leave stuff in the car and you can go get it if you decide you need it. This is the time to carry it all in, bring it all in with you, and you are going to have everything there that you and your birth partner might need during that time together. Tip number 3, start thinking now about what the postpartum period is going to look like. We spend a lot of time during pregnancy preparing for the next stage in pregnancy. We spend a lot of time preparing our birth plan, our birth wishes, what we hope labor and delivery might look like, what our options in labor and delivery might look like. And it's really common to not spend time thinking about postpartum. It's always really important that we're thinking about those postpartum period and resources during pregnancy. So when we bring that baby back home, we feel prepared, but especially now during COVID-19, a lot of the in-person or all of the in-person drop-ins and resources aren't available to us that are normally there. So make a list of where you can go virtually for those breastfeeding resources, lactation consultants who are doing virtual consults still. Maybe you're looking for, a group of new parents who've had a baby now as well that you can tap into and meet virtually for kind of coffee and tea time and discuss what it's like with that new baby home and share some of your stories and build those important friendships together. Number 4, set those family and friends expectations now. So it's going to be really hard for grandma and grandpa not to be able to come meet that new baby and hold their grandchild in their arms. It's still really important that we are respecting physical and social distancing during this time. And so, make sure you let the grandparents know, friends, family, that we may not be able to see you in person, but we can set up times to FaceTime, to Zoom, to connect with baby. People are still going to want to help as well. So let people know what can be helpful for you and your family while still respecting our distancing at this time. So maybe they're dropping off a meal to your front porch that you're able to then have for dinner, or some easy to eat snacks such as muffins and such. Setting those family and friend expectation up early is going to really help you during the postpartum period to not have those awkward conversations. And tip number 5, we really suggest that you think about self-isolating, quarantining for you and your birth support person 14 plus days before you're due to give birth. The reason being is that when you show up at your birthplace of choice, if your birth support person has any signs and symptoms of COVID-19, unfortunately, they are not going to be able to attend with you. By self-quarantining 14 plus days before you're due to give birth, you and your birth partner, you're going to reduce the risk and the chances of being exposed to COVID-19. That being said, we're also suggesting that you have a backup support person, birth partner, in case your spouse, your best friend, your doula, whoever it might be, in case they are exposed to COVID-19 and are displaying any signs and symptoms. It's great to have that backup person who you trust, and you develop that relationship with. So those are our top 5 tips if you are currently expecting during COVID-19. We hope that you found these helpful. Like always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.